Okay, so what else can you do that you might want to do in 2D drawings? One of the things that you're probably going to run into that you may want to do at this stage is do some transformations. So by transformations, I'm referring to just moving the part from one place to another, or doing some arrays or some circular arrays, etc. If you want to lay this out on a large sheet, you may want to array the part and fill up the sheet. Okay, so one of the things I'm going to do, I'm just going to select all of the geometry for now, and you'll see that this triad appeared on the screen. Okay, and you can control that with this icon right here. It's called the manipulator. And that is just a widget that you can use to move the drawing around, okay? You can easily move it in the y-axis, in the x-axis, etc. And you can also rotate it any axis. Okay, so I'm going to escape out of that. So also, as far as transformations, we have an actual menu for that. When you select your geometry, you'll see that there is an extra menu that appears in VisualCAD called Transform. So if you select that, you see a menu. All of these commands are operating on the geometry that you have previously selected. So I just selected all of the geometry, okay? So again, it's got the basic options. You can move it from one point to another. That's pretty straightforward. You can rotate it, you can scale it. These are all editing functions. You can mirror, etc. So let's go ahead and just do some arrays. Okay. Now you may notice, if you're familiar with the CAM product, that you can do some transformations on the toolpaths themselves, where you can do an array, or you can do a circular array, et cetera, et cetera. It basically works. This basically works the same way. As far as the dialogues are very similar, but in VisualCAD, you're actually transforming the geometry. I have no toolpaths in this drawing file right now, so we're just going to do an array. If you see here, it's got some default parameters. If you recall, the length was about, I think it was about 9 inches. So we're in the x-axis, we're going to just do a value of at least 10 or 11 inches, okay? And for the x, you'll see that it defaulted to 6. These values actually defaulted to the extents dimensions of the part for the x and the y. So, but we want it a little bit larger, that's 6, so let's go 7, okay? Typically, when you're arraying 2D geometry, you're not going to array it in the z-axis. So we're just going to put 0 there for the z-axis. And then we're also going to tell it how many we want to array in the x and the y and the z. So let's just say we're going to put 5 in the x. So it's going to go 5 along the x direction. We'll just put 5 along the y. So it'll copy it upwards. And we're going to leave the C to 0. Let's go ahead and pick OK. So you'll see here that we did a nice array of the original geometry. And again, you know, if you're wanting to fill the entire sheet that you're going to machine, just calculate these distances first ahead of time, so you know what your distances are and how many you want to fit on that sheet. Okay. So let's go ahead and just undo that for a moment. Okay.